Yo, what's up, guys? This is Lukas from Valemaya, and you are listening to So Fucking Cool Magazine.
All right, so fucking cool here with Lucas. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Happy to, be entering into a new year here.
I see that, man. You got some big things coming up this year.
Yeah, working on some pretty exciting stuff.
So tell me about new industry.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we are a hybrid entertainment and production company. We also dabble in management, and we just got off the ground in the summer of last year and decided that before we announce anything publicly that we'd gain a little bit of traction and get some things together and in the works, and that's what we've done over the last few months, and here we are now out there and letting people know what's going on.
Now, from taking a look at your services, it looks like you're in all aspects of running something for an up-and-coming band. I see you're doing some of the management, you're doing the videos, you're even doing some of the songwriting. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. And as of now, the bands under our management, some of them come to us for production, but some of them have a really good handle of those types of things on their own, or have producers or videographers that they're very comfortable with. So we're hands-on if these artists want us to be, but we also take the back seat in the production roles if they feel comfortable where they're at already. So it's just kind of, it's on an artist-to-artist basis, and we like it that way, and the artists seem to enjoy it too.
Now, how do you go about picking out the bands that you're going to represent?
Well, the core of New Industry is 5 people, so it's myself, and then we have a audio engineer and producer. His name's Isaiah Levitt, and then we have a visual producer who does our photography and video work. His name is Peter Doucette, and then we have a creative director named Mason Ochsner, and our president's name is Keith Gray. And basically, one of us will come across a band, or sometimes a band comes across us, and the 5 of us will discuss it, and we'll look over everything and just kind of make a decision. But we don't stay, too specific to any sort of genre. We try to stay well-rounded and work with anyone who we feel that we can help.
Now, the last time I spoke with you was a couple of years ago, and you were saying that you were going to do some film work. Are you still going to be doing anything like that?
Yeah, we're working on a short film right now that the script is pretty much ready for. This is a project that Mason brought to me, and it's pretty hysterical. I don't want to give too much away on it, but it's kind of I would say it's a spoof of It's a Wonderful Life sort of thing. And it's pretty funny. I love the idea, and we're trying to get the cast and everything for that together now. So any of the listeners out there, if you are pursuing a career in acting, hit us up.
Now, let's talk about the songwriting aspect that you're doing for these bands.
Cool.
It's got to be harder and harder these days to go ahead and do that. I mean, not as far as putting out the lyrics or doing whatever you're doing, but as far as getting paid, basically. I mean, with the internet out there, with everyone downloading songs and taking that, I mean, the only person who truly gets hurt now is the songwriter. The band themselves can go ahead and tour and go ahead and make money that way, but the songwriter is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. I guess for us, it's one of many services that we do provide. So I guess we just never really looked at it that way. And the songwriting fee isn't extremely outrageous by any means, I don't think. I haven't really had anyone complain to me about it. And as far as on our part, it doesn't really, I mean, the team involved is pretty efficient, and we know what we're doing as far as songwriting, so it's not something that is very grueling on our part either. So, I mean, we just enjoy it, and we make a little on the side, and just try to put together some good bangers for these artists.
Well, I understand the point of you doing it. I mean, especially with the company that you have and how you are doing a lot of different aspects for these bands. I'm just saying in general, as being a songwriter, I would say it's a rough time.
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy because some of the songwriting fees out there are mad, like, talking thousands of dollars for one song to a certain type of artist. I mean, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, though. It's definitely in an age now where that sort of thing is, kind of saturated to an extent, I suppose. And there's a lot of people offering the same sort of thing. So there's a lot of competition out there for it as well.
Now, you got to have bands lining up the block to be part of this project with you. I mean, you have so much experience. I mean, you're the front man for Veil Maya. You've been on huge tours. You've put out amazing records. You've sold hundreds of thousands of copies. I mean, you've done more than most bands can achieve, and yet now you're sitting here mentoring these up-and-coming bands.
Yeah, I mean, the public release went really well, and there have been a slew of artists who've hit us up for various different services, whether it be management or songwriting. So yeah, I mean, it's going really well, but that's why I'm very fortunate to have these other guys involved, because I couldn't do this by myself. There's just no way. It took me a long time to even get this company to be legal and start operating. So it's cool. I love it, and I'm very thankful to have these other individuals on my side, because otherwise this wouldn't be happening.
I mean, it's got to be a whirlwind for you. I mean, you guys just put out the album last year, and I see you guys are touring. I mean, you guys are going to India in a couple days, right?
Yeah, I actually have to take off to Chicago tomorrow for rehearsal.
Now did you ever play India before?
No, it's going to be wild. I'm looking forward to it.
Make sure you guys film a little bit of that somehow and put it on your social media, because I would love just to see the crowd, man. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
I see stuff from all over the world, but I've never seen a rock and roll band play in India.
Yeah, that actually reminds me. I gotta put my camera with the rest of my stuff so I don't forget it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that should be a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's gonna be pretty brief. It's kind of in and out. It's only 4 shows, but at the same time, when you're in a place like India, you experience a lot, just the culture, the food, and the way things are done, halfway across the world.
Yeah, man, don't drink the water,
Yeah, I wasn't too wise either. I didn't go and get my shots, but I'll be cautious.
After that, I see you're playing some Europe dates. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in March we go to Europe with Dance Gavin Dance.
And then, is there anything for you guys coming up in the States this summer?
Talking about it, nothing's been confirmed or released, but management is working on some deals right now. We're just trying to get everything confirmed and locked down.
Now, what are the chances of doing like a new industry tour? You know what I mean? Where you guys headline, you bring out your bands, introduce them to everybody?
That'd be interesting. That's something that I have to bring to everyone. And I think new industry has definitely got to grow a bit before we can really get the guys' attention. And, they know what's going on. They know what I'm involved in. But at the same time, Veil's just on its own level right now, and new industry is brand new, and we kind of have to prove ourselves to them, if anything.
Right, yeah, that's true. But the name alone of you guys is, the drawing power.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd for sure be down. That'd be awesome.
So, what's your next project, man? What are you doing?
We actually we have a band called Crooked Royals flying over from Europe in February that we're going to be doing a 5-song EP, engineering, mix, master for. So we're pretty excited about that. International clients is always fun to work with, so that's going to be pretty cool. Other than that, we have our own content that we are currently working on, and we're kind of wrapping up some videos and things right now that we're going to start releasing later on this year. Just kind of like our own brand. We have 4 or 5 different projects that either me or Mason or Isaiah are actually involved in, not just writing, but in the project itself. And it stems from metal to hip-hop to pop, and we're pretty excited to get that stuff out there.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. I see you're mixing it up, so, you're not putting all your everything into one genre, and that's good. What do you listen to? I mean, what kind of what are you choosing? You know what I mean? As far as
I listen to everything. I've never really been one to just sit down and listen to a style of music because I get bored on it And that's kind of where, my writing stems from too. I'll sit down and spend a week on some metal stuff or hip hop or rock, and by the end of that week, I'm exhausted of it, and I just have to move on to something else. So I keep my ears floating around for different things, and I just try to stay, again, just well rounded and versed in what's going on.
Well, let's talk about the couple acts that you guys got signed up so far. I like what I heard, man.
Cool, awesome. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah, everyone's a little bit different. I mean, I'm looking over it as I'm talking to you here. I mean, the Grayson Earhart, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, yep.
I mean, he's got a different style. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely. Yeah, we're actually announcing him today on all the socials, and we just confirmed him 2 days ago. He gave me a call and said that he definitely wanted to get on board. We've been communicating for a few weeks now, but we're very excited to be working with him because he definitely brings something new to the table for us, and it's kind of rocky. He's got this nice little EP that he's wrapping up now, and he's actually incorporated more of a rock style into it. I think, to my knowledge, if memory serves me right, he told me that he's kind of moving it more into a direction where he's doing the same sort of like hybrid guitar playing, but on a semi-hollow body electric guitar, and then he's going to be incorporating drums and things of that nature as well. So he's going from the acoustic to like this more rock realm, which I think is actually a very good move.
And then I heard the In Search of Solace, and that's
Yeah,
a little bit more rocking than the other guy was. That's for sure.
yeah, that band's pretty heavy. I like what they have going on.
And then the Sense of Purpose, that's the one that I like the best, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, that band's out of Ohio, and we picked them up a couple months ago already. And I actually met those guys while Vale was on a short run out to this festival called I Matter out in New York. And they opened up for us on one of our routing dates. And we just got to talking, and they put on a great live performance. I mean, that was the first time I heard the music was live. I didn't know of them. I didn't hear them online or anything like that. And yeah, I was pretty blown away by what they had going on. And then I looked into them and brought them to the guys, and everyone was pretty stoked.
Now, do you think when you guys are playing on your own, do you think kids are going to come up to you like crazily now, handing you like mixtapes and shit? Like
I hope so.
little CDs and whatever. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, that bring it.
Because now you're the man.
I mean, people have been doing that anyway, so now I'm just gonna get more of them. But that's all right. I have a little collection in my room of the CDs that I've been handed.
Now, what do you suggest for people that aren't at shows or not going to be able to make it to India or Europe, or they're just hearing this right now and they're so excited to have a chance to work with you? What are they going to do? Where are they going to go?
Hit us up. I mean, we're on Facebook. You can search under New Industry, or you can just type in facebook.com/New Industry Entertainment. Otherwise, you can look up on Instagram under the handle New Industry Entertainment, and Twitter as well under industry_new. Just send us a message, show us what you got, and we'll take a listen to it and check you out. And we get back to everyone, whether we're interested, whether we're not interested, whether we think there's a possibility of working together in the future. We're always going to respond to you, and we're excited. I mean, there's really no way to mess it up. Just come tell us what you got. We're excited.
Now, I really do believe that you guys are in this in the right time, man. I mean, if you're listening to the way music trends, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to hear like rock and roll is actually becoming rock and roll again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I mean, there was a time there where it was pretty much commercialized. I mean, you can hear
Yeah.
some of these bands are just putting stuff out that they want to be able to play the big festivals. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not using real lyrics, so to speak. They're doing the oohs and the ahs so they can be heard all over the place, and
Mm-hmm.
somewhere they could play in America and then they can go over to England and they could sing along because there's no true lyrics, Now you got bands coming out like Greta Van Fleet and things like that where you can actually hear rock and roll once again. And like I said, I think you guys are in the right time to pick some of these artists up and go from there.
Yeah, I definitely hope so. And it's amazing. Like, music is almost so accessible to anyone now. Just creating it to where it's gotten to a point where each market is extremely saturated, and a lot of the artists are almost carbon copies. But that also allows for these unique, free thinking individuals to really access something different and kind of showcase the world. Because when I reflect on music and the history and what's going on, it's always the bands that are doing their own thing amongst themselves and just what they're great at. And it wasn't them trying to be somebody else. You listen to a band like System of a Down, or you take Mudvayne, or any band like that, and when you put that band on, you know who it is right away. Not because all their songs sound the same, or not because their production is always the same, which a lot of it does come down to those sorts of things, but in the right way. Like, there's this give and take, and they sound like themselves because they wanted to just do what it was they were good at. And it wasn't even about skill. Years ago, it wasn't about how good you were at singing, or how good you were at guitar, or even how good you were at writing songs. It was just about what can you 4 or 5 or 3 individuals put together. And, bands just blew up out of nowhere because they were doing things that nobody ever heard before.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a great period of music. That's for sure.
Yeah, but going back, I guess, to what you were saying, I think we're definitely seeing a little bit more of that. It definitely plateaued for a while and got to a point where everything coming out seemed like they were just mimicking something that came before them. But the resources are falling in the right hands now, and people are able to just create and endlessly. You can sit down on a MacBook with your guitar and write a whole song in a day and have it produced by the end of the night. And just put it out online.
That's one thing that blows my mind away. I mean, the way technology works now. I mean, you can do it. You can do it from your house. You can do.
Mm-hmm.
There's no having to. I mean, of course, once you want to tweak and get everything, you got to go to the studio and all. But to put out a product, like you said, takes a goddamn computer. And
I know, yeah, and a night,
yeah.
It's crazy. And some of these records, people think we're producing like this extravagant studio, but then when you're in it, it's like, nah, dude, we were just chilling in my living room. We made an album. I mean, False Idol, for example, me and Brandon Paddock, when we were tackling the vocals, we were in his living room. All of it tracked in his living room, in like a condo style, duplex. He had neighbors. I mean, I can't even imagine what his neighbors were thinking. Like, all the dark stuff that we were shouting and screaming into that microphone.
That had been awesome.
It was a good time. We had fun with it. In between, we're just trying to keep ourselves sane by, watching just anything that's going to make us laugh on YouTube. It was an interesting few weeks, that's for sure. But yeah, just, it's done that way now all the time. Bands all over the place are just flying in to track in a living room and pump out an album.
Hey, did you guys true home studio it, gangster style with the with the egg cartons taped to the wall?
No, he did have actual soundproofing panels. That's funny. We didn't do the Lil Jon mattress booth, but we didn't even have a booth. I was sitting there. I was right next to his computer desk, and his microphone's kind of off in the corner, facing like the open end of the living room. So I wasn't facing the corner of the room. We were just kind of pushed in the corner of the room.
Right.
And yeah, we were just sitting there. We were able to communicate seamlessly because we were both right next to each other. There was no talk back or anything. I'd take a headphone off. He takes a headphone off. We discuss the part, and then we get back to tracking.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was cool.
I mean,
very comfortable.
Especially as you would never tell. I mean, the tracks are
no, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It just goes to prove to you what you can do these days.
Yeah. And if anything, it makes it a little bit more unique because the little aesthetic that you might be able to hear, you're not going to hear it anywhere else because it's a different room.
Yeah, for sure. They're like, hey man, how'd you get that sound? They're like, I don't know if I can book you in the living room or not.
Brandon's living room, bro.
The living room's booked. Why don't we try
Yeah, we're full, dude.
Now, with that being said, what do you think about touring these days with some of the big festivals ending?
You know, it's a really sad thing. God, it's really sad. And it's one of those things that I guess one would say is inevitable. I mean, you look at Ozfest and all these touring festivals that were just huge. And at some point, it just seems like they have to scale back or, call it a day. But, I mean, I guess it just gives room for the next thing to come up. And, it's just the evolution of music. But it's crazy how it affects people. And, really when you look at it, when it gets to the end of the line, that's when you truly see how many people you affected and how deeply. Because, it's you can relate it to a lot of things. Everything's going to come to an end, and it's at that moment when you really look back and reflect on what it meant to you.
I mean, of course. I mean, with those big festivals, I mean, everybody has memories that it's been to them. I mean, I can remember as a kid going to Lollapalooza and seeing Tool come out, and then Snoop Dogg, and then Korn. You know what I mean? Like in a matter of an hour. And
yeah.
Now you see, like, Warped Tour, this is their last year. I mean, they say they might do some, like, one-off shit, so who knows what's that. But some of these younger kids, that's their whole summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Something like that and see their favorite band and catch people they never even knew existed before or would never have a chance to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what New Industry's new project should be.
Well, I mean, if we can do something substantial like that'd be mind blowing.
Yeah, that's something I want to see you guys working on right now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The new.
Hey, right now we gotta set some slightly smaller goals for the time being, but
well, that's
I mean, I'd love to put together a festival. The rest of the guys would be all for it too, and we've discussed it, future planning and things like that. But it's definitely not something that we would just go and compare to a Warped Tour or an Ozfest or anything like that. And it's something that we would, if we ever got to a level where it was recognized like that, wow, that'd be unbelievable.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not saying doing it tomorrow, but,
Yeah.
I see a lot of big things coming out of you, man, for sure.
Well, thank you.
Hey, do you take your film crew with you now at all? I mean, I see you guys, you're doing all this production and you got all these camera guys and everything like that. Does, any chance of seeing any quality Veil of Maya footage, video, DVD, something like that?
That would be sick. As of now, there's really been no discussion of it, but I mean, we would for sure be open to it.
I'm telling you right now, how quick would it take you? What do you got, a day before you go to Chicago?
Yeah, I take off tomorrow.
And then your guys' 10th is the India?
Yes, I think 9th or 10th is the first date.
So you guys are probably flying out on the 9th? It takes like a day to get there?
We're taking off on the 8th.
Well, then you got 3 days to go ahead and get that crew together to film that, because it would be an amazing experience, man, I'm telling you.
Make it a lot better than just me having my Sony with me there, for sure. As much as I love filming myself, I'm just not a stellar camera operator.
Well, you need someone to film you, man. That's the whole point. I want to see.
Yeah, there's that too.
I want to see you guys hit up the new Delhi Square there, and play around with those culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to capture as much as I can. It's going to be a good time. Just get that. I think I like editing video more. For me, being behind the camera is pretty fun, but I could sit on that laptop and edit video all day. It just doesn't really get boring to me.
So are you going to edit the movie when you do it then? You're going to be the one handling that?
I'll leave that stuff, all the major production stuff, to Peter, because again, he's got the experience, the knowledge, and he's just got a better mind for it. I'm newer at it. Same with the camera operating stuff. It's just kind of new to me, and he's crazy good at it. But I do some of our smaller production stuff. For instance, My younger sister, actually, her name's Julie. She currently lives in Tennessee, and she's doing her own solo project that we kind of took under our wing, and we actually just tracked 3 songs that we wrote for her just the other week, actually. And while we were in the studio, I took it upon myself to shoot and edit some studio videos, which I had a lot of fun doing. So some of that stuff I will do, but the big stuff, I let Peter do it.
So what's the plan then? Are you guys going to do a series of short films and then a full length?
Yeah, and we're also going to start with some shorter skits that Mason's working on now, just to get some stuff out there so people can see our video content, and maybe we can get some actors involved, because even putting together just a 30-minute short is difficult, because to have the substance throughout a story to be captivating for that long, the roles have to be there. So just getting, 8 serious actors is a difficult thing, especially with the budget we're under. And just to fathom, we have a full-length film script written, but putting it together right now and filming it is entirely unrealistic because of budget and casting. So basically the plan is to produce a few micro skits, if you will, something that's about 5 to 10 minutes long, and from there move on to projects that are 20 to 30, maybe 40 minutes, and then get into those full production videos of 2 hours and some odd minutes with 50 rolls, and you have the extras, and you have it all. But it just takes some building and a lot of organization, and you got to have a lot of people who are serious about acting, and that's just kind of what we're working towards right now, is finding the right people to work with.
I believe it 100%. I mean, I don't think people realize how hard it is to actually film something.
Yeah, it's intense.
I mean, my son, he's 6. He just filmed a movie with John Turturro over the summer, and it was our first experience on a movie set, and you do that shit like 19 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You take a walk from here to there. It's like, whoa. And then you come back an hour later and do it another 19 times.
Yeah, it's time consuming, and it's a grueling process, and you just have to be patient and work through it, and everyone's got to be on the same page, and you have to have a lot of people who just believe in the project and truly want to do their best to be a part of it.
Now, do you have any big name friends, so to speak, that would you could throw in some of these projects?
Perhaps, yeah, maybe. I got to reach out to some individuals and see if they're willing to do it, which I have. And that's kind of the point we're at, where we're just, we're throwing the line out there to our friends and seeing who's interested and who would like to be a part. And from there, we're just hoping that, people we have no idea about at the moment will kind of come out of the woodwork.
Well, like I said, man, I'm a huge fan of yours personally, the band, and I know this project here is going to blow up.
Thank you. We all appreciate that.
Now, people want to follow up. They want to know more about it. I know you said it once before, but let's give it to everybody one more time.
For sure, yeah. We're on all the trifecta of socials that everyone seems to be on a day-to-day basis. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. Just search New Industry. Twitter and Instagram handles, or I'm sorry, those are a little different. Twitter handle is industry_new. Instagram is New Industry Entertainment. And on Facebook, search in the search bar or type up in facebook.com/New Industry Entertainment, and you'll come across our page.
Perfect. And now the acts that we discussed there's links to everyone you're handling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You can find In Search of Solace, you can find A Sense of Purpose and Grayson Earhart, and we have some other artists that we'll be announcing pretty soon here. So
awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy guy. I'm looking forward to seeing some of that India footage.
Yeah, I'll get that up and edited for you, strictly for you.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself.
Take care.